And I'm Thibodeau. And there's three things that we love doing: eating boudin, eating crawfish, and watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm WB Billy Boudreaux, being joined by Mick37. Mick, how you doing?
Pretty good, getting smacked on.
Getting smacked on? You know, interesting you say that because we're about to have our review of Friday Night Smackdown for the week of August 17th, 2012, and we opened up with, of course, Alberto Del Rio, who sent out that tout about him wanting to confront Booker T for calling off the match. And Booker T comes out, and then Jericho comes out in a pretty funny segment. For those of you, all I'm going to say is Ashley knew what he was talking about. For those of you who don't know, just go back on the Raw review and listen to what Ashley said about dog poop. That's all I'm going to say. Mick, I'll tell you that for being a predictable opening segment for setting up the main event, I thought it was still kind of entertaining. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on that opening.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Your score?
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Now, next up, we had a really great tag team match. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, who a lot of people would consider to be a dream team in the WWE, for those of you who follow the luchadors and masked wrestlers like that, taking on The Miz and Cody Rhodes. Very great tag match, but Mick, just like I said on Tout, for those of you who don't know what my Tout is, it's tout.com/u/WrestleGamer. Like I said on my Tout earlier tonight, from what I saw out of Cody Hawkinz, I'm sorry, not Cody Hawkinz, Cody Rhodes, I don't know why I said that, I apologize. Cody Rhodes and Sin Cara. Cody Hawkinz is here, by the way, guys. If you're wondering who that mysterious, insane machine voice like quality was. But yeah, but Mick, I gotta say, from what I've seen out of Cody Rhodes and Sin Cara tonight, kind of leads me to believe that we might have a match with these two at SummerSlam.
Yeah. It kind of led into it, but I don't know. I think they might leave it for a minute out of the pay-per-view until next.
It might be one of those unannounced matches that WWE is so famous for doing on their pay-per-views, you know?
It might.
I mean, they went ahead and announced Ryback and Jinder Mahal, and honestly, who's really going to care about that match? No one. No offense to plenty of offense to Jinder Mahal, but no offense to Ryback. Or as a lot of people have been calling him lately, Old Pink Eye. As far as this tag match goes, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really great tag match. They did a lot of build up for Miz and Rey Mysterio, the Intercontinental title match. That I'm actually looking forward to. And Sin Cara and Cody Rhodes, a possible match at SummerSlam is what I say. Mick, what you say? What your score and your thoughts?
My score would be 3.5 out of 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Any particular reason why?
It was interesting, but it wasn't enough tag spots for Rey and Sin Cara.
Oh, you wanted to see more tag team work between these two?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tag teams, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but we're going to have to. We kind of saw the debut of a new gimmick from Curt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. They came out dressed in suits. They get in the ring. Tyler Rex says, hit the music. And then next thing you know, Hawkins and Rex start stripping. Ugh! I'm sorry, I'm just a little not... They basically stripped down to what looked like BVDs. They were actually wrestling in underwear. You know, there's always the term, you know, when you're in the ring wearing tights, it's like underwear. They were literally in underwear. I'm thank the Lord nothing went flying, if you know what I mean. But it was Curt Hawkins and Tyler Rex taking on two jobbers. Yeah, is all I can say about the new gimmick for Hawkins and Rex. But a very interesting finish, Mick. I remember you saying that you liked the new finisher of Hawkinz and Rex.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
For a jobber match, and the fact that they male stripped on TV, ugh, and that's supposed to be PG, ugh. 2 out of 5 from me. Mick, your score?
3 out of 5 for the brilliant Magic Mike disc.
Oh God, he had to say it. He had to say the Magic Mike-ness. Oh man. Oh man. Next up, we had the battle for the assistant's position for the general manager of Eve Torres taking on Caitlyn. All right. Why did this even take place? I mean, why did we actually have to see this? You know, now don't get me wrong. Even Torres and Caitlyn are hot. I mean, major league hot. When you think those two, you think hashtag cleavage. And Mick, you would think hashtag winning jism. Yes, Ashley. Yes, you are welcome. I actually said it. For those of you who don't know what I'm saying, go on my Twitter. Well, as far as this match goes, I kind of figured it was going to go to Eve Torres. WWE really hasn't done much with their divas, and I really don't expect them to do much with their divas. Wouldn't you say, Mick?
No, I wouldn't expect it either. Hopefully, if Triple H does take over, we're all going to be right, and tag team wrestling will come back. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Well, as far as this match goes, I gotta put out another 2. To be honest, because really, honestly, you know, the matchup wasn't really badly worked, but the fact is, it just really didn't grab at my attention. It really didn't keep me focused in the match. I mean, to me, honestly, I really didn't care who was going to win the match and who was going to get the position. So that's why I just got to give it a 2 out of 5.
I give it the same because they don't know how to. How do I say it? They don't know how to work a match without making me go to sleep.
Cody Hawkinz, is there a term for that?
You can't wrestle.
Well, yeah, let's switch gears here and go to a really good match instead between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Now, I believe they might have faced each other before. I'm not 100% positive on this, but tonight's match was really well done. Very impressed. But Mick, now this is something that you picked up. I didn't pick it up until I saw it. But this is something that you've been noticing, that for the past few weeks on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan goes up to what we think is a random fan and starts a no-yes argument with the guy. But there's something that you noticed, right?
It's the same guy every time. He's just wearing a different shirt and a different hat.
So it's a plant, in a sense.
Yeah, it's a fat guy with glasses.
Can you imagine? Well, now that begs the almighty question, and I'm bringing the insane machine Cody Hawkinz into this part of the discussion. What would you do if Daniel Bryan got up to your face at a WWE event and started screaming no at you for no apparent reason? Cody? Or we might be having some technical difficulties here. Mick, well, I'm going to toss the question to you while we try to get Cody Hawkinz back. Mick, what would you do if Daniel Bryan at a WWE event just randomly came up to you and started screaming no in your face?
I'd beat him with a fetus. Huh?
You would beat him with a what?
A fetus.
Oh my God. Cody Hawkinz, are you there? You might have stepped away from the moment. But yeah. Well, random. Anyway, as far as this match goes, really great match between Orton and Daniel Bryan. A lot of great stuff between these two guys. Also did a lot of build-up for Daniel Bryan and Kane, as Daniel Bryan had the no-lock on Randy Orton. We hear we see Kane's pyro go off. We hear his music, but he's nowhere to be found. It forces Daniel Bryan to release the no-lock in a freak out, and then next thing you know, Randy Orton RKO's him. And it kind of looks like the RKO of old. To me, it looked like he did it with only one arm, but it was still a really good RKO. And the next thing you know, Randy Orton is the winner. Now, for Randy Orton, well, the match is going to get a 4 out of 5, but a thought just crossed my mind, Mick. Randy Orton is coming back. Well, Randy Orton is back, and he is a big name in the WWE. Is he doing anything at SummerSlam?
Nope.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Randy Orton, a big name for WWE and Friday Night Smackdown, and he's not involved in any way, shape, or form with SummerSlam.
Well, he just came back. He hasn't really put him into any storylines yet.
Before we get to the next match, we saw some more vignettes about the return of Wade Barrett. Cody Hawkinz, are you there?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We're seeing more and more vignettes about the return of Wade Barrett and the Barrett Barrage. Just wanted to know if you had an opinion on these vignettes for Wade Barrett.
Well, I mean, it looks like they're trying to push him. You know, they're doing the vignettes. That means there's some form of a push. As to pertaining what kind of push he's going to get, Lord knows, honestly. I mean, it can go anywhere with the WWE, with the guys in the back and guys who are doing the storylines. And it's just, it's a toss in the air as to how is he going to come back and what is he going to do.
Mick, go ahead.
Kazani.
Oh, God. No offense to Gazarni, but that was a blunder. Now, let's go to this match here. We have Antonio Cesaro and Zack Ryder, and we also get the announcement that the United States title match between Santino Marella and Antonio Cesaro will be held not on the SummerSlam pay-per-view, but on the pre-show on YouTube. My God, the WWE really just does not give a flipping care about the United States title anymore, do they? I mean, seriously, come on. Now, I'm going to talk more about the SummerSlam matches on my breakdown video, but for it to be on the pre-show and not an actual pay-per-view match, Antonio Cesaro and Santino Marella, oh, I'll tell you what. Well, I will say this right now. I will say this right now, Mick. If they do put the title on Antonio Cesaro tomorrow at SummerSlam, or I'm sorry, Sunday at SummerSlam, then it could legitimize the United States title a little bit. No offense to Santino Marella, but he is entertaining, but he's more comic relief than a wrestler. I think the United States title could be taken a little bit more seriously if they put it on Antonio Cesaro, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do with Cesaro is they're going to hand him a title for a little bit. And if he does good with this, they'll give him something a little bigger.
Cody Hawkinz, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I'm actually kind of clueless as to, and this is concerning the future of the United States Championship.
Yes.
You know, honestly, it's lost its credibility since it changed hands from, whenever it changed hands to Santino. The title lost its credibility, it lost its prestige, so...
And that's why it's being defended on the pre-show.
I know, the whole thing about it, that's the thing. They moved it from during the pay-per-view to the pre-show, and it's just ridiculous. There's no credibility and no prestige given to the United States Championship now. It's anybody's game.
And they did very little build to this United States title match. I mean...
Yeah, they just hey, here, you're going against this guy for this title. Here you go, have fun.
Well, they did a very little tonight. I mean, Antonio Cesaro and Zack Ryder, it was an okay match. 3 out of 5 at best from me. Quickly, Mick, your score?
My score...
Because we did have Santino Marella on commentary, but after the match was over, what had happened? Santino gets mad, Cesaro gets in his face, and then just shrugs him like a sack of potatoes and throws him over the announce table in a sense, right?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 just because it was decent.
And speaking of superstars that have fallen from grace, how far has Zack Ryder fallen? I mean, he was getting over really, really well, and then all of a sudden he's jobbing people now. He's making a paycheck, you know, I will say that for sure, but he's just not looking good doing it. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I have to say. Next up, we have the main event, Alberto Del Rio and Chris Jericho. And at first, it really didn't look like it was going to happen. Because backstage, Chris Jericho was assaulted by Dolph Ziggler. But Jericho came out anyway. And, man, Jericho is... I will say this. I'm glad to see the return of Y2J. The Y2J gimmick. Because it was funny. It was entertaining. It made Jericho worth watching. You know, so that way you don't have to turn on the TV and say, I hate Jericho. No, you can actually turn on the TV and actually be entertained by Jericho again. And I get the feeling if possibly, if this is his last run in the WWE, this is probably the way he wants to go out. Probably not as, you know, the mean, the bitter Chris Jericho, but go out as the entertaining and funny Y2J. That's what my take would be on that. But as far as this matchup goes, I thought it was a really great match. And Mick, you really saw this, you know, the welt marks just all over the abdomen and the midsection of Chris Jericho. I mean, he was taking really hard bumps in that midsection in that match.
To keep it PG, he was getting his bum kicked.
Yeah, basically. But, yeah, I mean... I was looking at that and I was kind of wincing. I mean, that had to hurt to take all those hard bumps and just have your entire midsection area just, you know, so red, you know, it looked like a sunburn almost. But the match finish came when Jericho was bouncing off the ropes and Dolph Ziggler came out and lowered the old top rope thing, and Jericho fell off. And next you know, Ziggler throws him back in the ring, and one enziguri head kick later from Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio is the winner, and then he continued the assault on Jericho with a cross arm breaker, and then Sheamus comes out like a bolt of white lightning. I wonder how many people will get that joke. But he comes out and he attacks Del Rio, and Ziggler took off by that time. I don't think he wanted anything to do with Sheamus. But then next thing you know, Booker T comes out wanting to know why Sheamus was there, and Sheamus started begging him for the match to be called back on between him and Del Rio, and Booker T said yes. And basically, I really knew the match wasn't going to be called off, Mick, but I think they kind of did an okay way of bringing it back, wouldn't you say?
Wait a minute, did I just say keep it PG? Wait a minute, I'm not Vince Kennedy wanking McMahon. But
main event. Let's give a score on it in the main event. Main event, I thought it was really good. I've always wanted to see Del Rio work with Chris Jericho in a match, and we actually had the opportunity tonight. I thought it was really good, despite the way it opened up and it ended. I still thought it was a good match. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this.
Yeah, I'll go with the same. Never keeping it PG, by the way. I was just the...
Yeah, but overall score for Friday Night Smackdown this week, I gotta say it was an average show. You know, it wasn't spectacular, but hey, they're leading up into a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be too critical on them. I'm gonna go 3.5 out of 5. A great match with Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, Miz, and Cody Rhodes. I still believe that we could be seeing a Sin Cara-Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam. Hawkins and Tyler Rex as male strippers. I thought it tasted apples for a minute. Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, great match between these two. That could be a main event on any Friday Night Smackdown or Monday Night Raw, to be honest with you. And great match with Del Rio and Chris Jericho, and they did a lot for both matches, for Del Rio and Sheamus, and Jericho and Dolph Ziggler. 2 great builds tonight, leading up until SummerSlam for these 2 matches. So, Mick, I'm going 3.5 out of 5 on this. What's your overall score?
3.5 out of 5, just because it was really good for a promo show.
Well, yeah, that's basically what it was. It was a promo show because we got SummerSlam coming up. So, what we want to know now from you guys, the viewers and subscribers, what are your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week? Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer, youtube.com/ZFXTV Network, and youtube.com/ZFXFame. So for the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkinz, and for Mick37, I'm WB Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Peace.
GCW, Gulf Coast Wrestling, where the bad boys play.
Gulf Coast Wrestling of Louisiana proudly presents its return to Abbeville as it presents the Back to School Brawl 2012, Saturday, August 18th at the Abbeville American Legion Hall. Come out and support Louisiana GCW as we bring you the most high, intense, impact action that the state has to offer, including superstars like Scott Phoenix, Abbeville's own Flip, the Wolfman Jackson, the current GCW Tag Team Champions, Mustang Mike and Psycho Mike, the Dark Alliance. How will they retain their titles this show? Also, the GCW Extreme Champion SHARKBAIT and the one and only man from Greenland. Yes, it's the Green Man. Also appearing, the GCW Heavyweight Champion, The Rocket. Now with the separation of high definition, Daniel T turned his back on the only one Sean Dunn. How will this dissipate in the show for Back to School Brawl? And the awaited arrival of two of the greatest GCW Zero Gravity champions in the history. Christian Blake and Blue Chipper set it off to go one-on-one to determine who faces the current GCW Zero Gravity champion, the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkinz. All this and more at the Back to School Brawl. You can get your tickets at the door or call 772-8010, 517-6548, or 517-0823. Once again, Louisiana, this is GCW at its best. Coming back to Abbeville, August 18th, Abbeville American Legion Hall. Back to School Brawl 2012. You don't want to miss this, folks. You have every opportunity, so get your tickets now. This is action. This is adrenaline. This is GCW.